well, you get a pat on the back and you can say that you helped this country, which was formed in 1948 by pretending to be refugees, if you will, and they're even lying about the history of the Star of David. It's a hexagram. It's a cult.
A pedophile-centric religion that believes in child sacrifice. This is only what the dragon...
To introduce, make their religion the religion of the world, right? Which is a pedophile-centric religion that believes in demons, it believes in child sacrifice, and it is the reason that we have the circumstances that we are in today. And
Bibi Netanyahu, he lied about the contents of a letter that Charlie Kirk had written him back in May.
Bibi Netanyahu, he lied about the contents of a letter that Charlie Kirk had written him back in May.
So Candice Owens, you're I don't know if you're just a lying piece of shit or you've just lost your mind, but I can point to a number of verifiable actual lies from Candice Owens. She's not an honest person. I don't know why 4 million people are stupid enough to follow her. I mean, I can tell you an easy lie just right off the top of my head. When Macron of France, she has constantly been talking about how she has a penis, she's really a man. Well, they sued Candice Owens in the American court system. And Candice Owens, I can provide the video, said specifically, we don't want it thrown out. She's like, bring it on, we don't want them thrown out. And then she goes into court, okay, and don't give me this shit, well, it was her attorneys. Your attorneys act on behalf of you. You're the one that makes the decisions, so don't even try that one, all right? And they go get it thrown out of court. Okay, so she's lying about that. Now, this Charlie Kirk letter comes out, and it is the exact opposite of all of you morons out there that have been saying, yeah, the Israelis, they're the ones, man. Mossad killed Charlie Kirk, which, God, you got nothing on that. You got nothing on that. And Candice Owens like, I know, it's in that letter. The letter from Charlie Kirk, it basically just reinforces the opposite narrative 100%. It is Charlie Kirk pleading with Benjamin Netanyahu to please get the real information out there, because Charlie was saying, I'm defending Israel all the time. Israel needs to get out in social media and tell the truth because there's so much misinformation. And he was talking about all these anti-Israel terrible things that are going on, and anti-Jew and anti-Semitism that's going on in even conservative circles. So basically, by extension, he's talking about Candice Owens. Candice Owens or people like her. That just blew up in Candice Owens' face. I keep seeing this bullshit, even from friends on social media that are just embarrassing themselves. They want it so bad because they hate Israel and they hate Jews so much. They just, God, if they could just get Charlie Kirk, on their side posthumously, if they could somehow shape him into the whole anti-Israel push. Well, it blew up in your face. It blew up in your face. It blew up in your face. I know what's in the letter, and the letter is nothing but 100% pro-Israel, where basically Charlie Kirk is desperately trying to help Israel because he is so supportive of Israel. Now, you know what they're going to do? Candice Owens is probably going to come out and say, well, that's a fake letter. That's not the letter I read. Candice Owens loves to say she sees things. but she can't share them. She saw the assassination, and it wasn't real because there wasn't blood flying out everywhere. Well, what is she saying? Because other people are making arguments that might or might not be true, like there might be another shooter, there could be a different angle. I'm the only person on the internet that it does not profess to be a ballistics expert. Probably the only one who actually owns a bolt-action 30-06 of the same era. And yet, for some reason, I have this thing where I like to wait and see what all comes out. This doesn't happen on the internet. This is, I'm a gullible, stupid, whatever. And people can fight that out. Although I'm becoming more dubious by the minute, because these are the same people that are just sure Netanyahu, he had Charlie Kirk offed, and he did it with the federal government and Kash Patel, and they made up this text message, and they, okay, did you ever consider the fact that if you find all this compelling, that I find it compelling that there was some trans dirtbag on a roof with a 30-06, whether he tore it down or put it back together, and whatever he did, you idiots, you're not even given a reason or a motive for any of this stuff. So you don't even stop and think, okay, there's probably some information that's probably getting convoluted, which always happens, especially in major events. You hear 100 different things until things settle down. But Candice Owens has stated that this is basically the federal government, Kash Patel, the FBI, they're lying, and it's Israel in conjunction with, and yes, I have the video, in conjunction with, get this, the Mormon Church in the state of Utah. She even points out that, I noticed the beehive state. If the beehive if that isn't Marxist, this hive mentality, are you kidding me, Candice Owens? I was recently down in Salt Lake City when my wife had to be life flighted down there. It's the nicest people I've ever been around. It's the nicest city. The people were just unbelievably nice and unbelievably very traditional and conservative. It was a real breath of fresh air. And you're telling me that this is a Marxist state sending out the dog whistle for Marxism? Wink, wink. Beehive, wink, wink, wink. Secret handshake. You guys are really just making absolute assholes out of yourself. I mean, in my other videos, I have laid out everything about Israel that you shouldn't be so stupid that you shouldn't know that, especially if you're older. My God. And Charlie Kirk, in that letter, he's talking about how Israel has supplied, billions or millions or billions of dollars worth of food to Gaza, medical care. They send leaflets and letters, and they show maps to the people of Gaza and announce ahead of time where they're going to attack. Who does that, Candice Owens? Who does that? Who does that? But then again, I have a biblical education. So there's the side of me, of course, that knew all this was coming. If you believe in prophecy, then you would know that in this turbulent period of time, massive people are going to turn on Israel. And after all, they are. I mean, you got the rhetoric coming out of places as far up, as like Turkey and now the United States and Britain has opened its doors and let themselves become a thug Muslim country, and it's unbelievable to me. If this letter's a fake, then I will eat my words, because being wrong based on the best information available is something that I wouldn't be ashamed of. It's not looking that way. It's not looking that way. And you seriously, you assholes out there, you should come out and own up to it. Because you all speculated. Charlie Kirk's turning on Israel, which is a freaking lie. And Candice Owens is a disgusting person. Is so responsible with as many people that follow her that she is stoking up these anti-Jew fires. And she's proven wrong over and over again. I can just see all the responses right now. Somebody got to Turning Point. That's a fake letter. That's not. And Candice will probably say, that's not the letter I read. You know, it's like, yeah, it's not the letter you read. And you figured out the ballistics angle of attack and all that stuff from your cell phone. He shared it with me with a cell phone. I didn't see blood spattering everywhere. Well, you're just stupid, you know. You're not a blood spatter expert. You don't know. You've never seen anybody shot in any particular way with a 30-06. Even if you did, no two shots are ever going to be the same. Ever. So, basically, this transsexual loser shot Charlie Kirk. And the most ignorant argument I've seen is these people that just say, well, that text message, that's made up. I know that's fake. How do you know that's fake? Go look at your own text messages. They're, you know, people just talking a lot of times in a rote, mechanical, stiff manner when they're texting. And we've seen video now in a traffic stop of this Tyler Robinson speaking to the police, and he basically is talking just like he's texting. And people that say young men, young people, they don't use the word vehicle. I believe in that video he actually uses the word vehicle. So I was going to say I hate to be just coming on here all the time calling people stupid, but I don't hate it. I love it. Because I'm old and I just don't give a shit what anybody thinks anymore of what I have to say. I'm just going to call it like I see it. So have fun with all your Israel Jew bashing, because I know you're all going to scamper to the other side of the ship so it'll list this way, right? It's all conspiracy. It's all hidden. See, they got together and typed up, you know, Erica Kirk got in there and said, we got to change this. I can't let the world know that Charlie's the total Jew hater. You people need to come out and take responsibility for the garbage you're saying, because it influences people. And you're stoking the hate, man. I don't see any difference between you and the brown shirts. I really don't. If you studied history, which most of you don't, but I do, and I'm very familiar with, you know, from the early 20s, you know, all the way, the whole rise of Adolf Hitler and everything, and the rhetoric is the same. I mean, the rhetoric, you could take some of the statements, like word for word, from the Third Reich, and you could put them in, and you could practically just insert them in and swish out with statements by Candice Owens and Tucker Carlson and Mark Dice, all these people, and you wouldn't raise an eyebrow. You would not even notice. That's kind of concerning. It should be anyway. I just have no choice but I have to be compelled to have to address these things, because I don't believe I influence probably anybody much, but I cannot just sit by and not at least put it out there in the hopes that maybe somebody will stumble across it and think, gee, I never thought about thinking. Wouldn't it be interesting if we just did some thinking rather than just reacting, just ejaculating this anti-Semitism all over the place? Man, you people should be really ashamed of yourself.
I don't know what I am. Am I a woman or a man? I have a penis, but I don't feel like I am from Venus. If Venus is where men are from, and women are from Mars, I couldn't tell you one way or another because I get so drunk in the bars.